Lovelies. You know, I do some of my best thinking in the middle of the night. Yesterday, I found out, or late yesterday afternoon, actually it was last night, I found out that my author, Mary Brotherton, my other host on our Wednesday podcast, was having two events, one in November and actually three events, one in November, two in December. And her two little books, Too Many Rules and Sharks Bite, Writers Write, I had slated to come out on November the 10th. Oh, her first event is November the 8th. So this little voice in my head said, Yvonne, when you get up at dark 30, change her release date and don't tell her. Just send her an email. So I did. Those two little books will now go live on November the 11th, along with If I Could Be a Mermaid. Doing graphics for Mary's books has been one of the most fulfilling and joyful things I have learned to do. Mary and I have decided that her children's books are not going to be cartoonish. They are going to be realistic, as in the graphics. Because with the program that I now have, I can make her books pop, both on the cover and inside. I'm so glad and so grateful that she trusts me with this. Yesterday, we finished the graphics for the world's best grandfather. That one will go up today. If I can get it up to go live on the 3rd, Mary, you will have a 4th book live on the 3rd. The 4th at the latest. I want these books to be available for her to say to her customers at these events, yes, they are up, they are ready to purchase on Amazon. It's very important. Being an author and doing events, I understand that importance. And I'm trying to give all of my authors every tool they need to help them be successful. These books of Mary's have been sitting in her folders on her computers for a hot minute. If I Could Be a Mermaid is 35 years old. To be able to help Mary make her dream come true and to feel and hear the joy in her face and in her voice when she sees these galleys that I send her and sees these drafts that I send her, and her excitement to see that she has ticked off another dream. You can't put a price tag on that. You really cannot put a price tag on that. It almost makes me tear up. If I was capable of shedding tears, I would probably cry, because when she called me yesterday after she got the draft for the world's best grandfather, I thought she was gonna have cardiac arrest. She said, "You made me cry." I'm going, "Oh dear." She said, "No, in a good way." So, ladies and gentlemen, when I ask you to trust me to make your books real, please do. When I ask you to trust the process, please do. I'm not going to put anything out there that I would not put out for myself. I've had an author that refused to trust me. It's their loss. Their loss. have another author that sent me her coloring book that we will promote along with her domestic violence book, Gwendolyn Law, whose domestic violence book, September's Chill. It is her story. And I know that you know people out there, if you're not involved yourself, you know someone who's in a domestic violence relationship. You can get out. Is it easy? No, it is not. Will it save your life? It should. Because believe me, if you stay in that relationship, you're going to die. However, Gwendolyn has done a little coloring book that I will do right after I finish Mary's other two books, if I could be a butterfly and if I could be a giant. My goal is to get those two books and the grandfather book out before her events. Gwendolyn is also sending me a poetry book. So, Be Still My Heart. Bonnie Clark. Oh my goodness, Bonnie Clark. Bonnie Clark's Errol's Journey just went live. And she is over the moon. She is getting reviews all over the place. I've asked her to send them to me. I've also asked her to ask her folks that are sending her those reviews to put them up on Amazon, because Amazon reviews are crucial. They not only help promote the product, but they also raise the algorithms for that particular book. So any of you who are friends with Bonnie or are reading Bonnie's book or any of my authors' books, if you like the book, please, yes, send the review to your author, but also put it up on Amazon. It's very, very important, because after all, you want folks to know. I have no words. I really am I'm gobsmacked this morning, because God just keeps blessing this company. Carol Belavance's new book, Open Hearts and Safe Haven Prayer, goes live on November 10th. Andrea Dean Van Scoyek's new book, The Sacredness of Every Day, How Celtic Christianity Still Survives in a Lost World of Modernization. Oh, it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. Goes live on November the 10th. Mary Brotherton's book, Steep Steps, is now live. Where's Wags by Rose Padrick. It's another cute little children's book, is now live. Mary Brotherton's book, If I Could Be a Mermaid, is now live. Andrea Dean Van Scoyek's book, The Mercenary Files, an absolute marvelous book, is now live. It's about a female mercenary who got put in a prison in Prague because she defended herself against a couple of thugs, and courts didn't think highly of that. Then she gets approached by a secret organization who likes her skill sets. She goes to work for them. All is not good in paradise, because the hunter also becomes the hunted. She said, Andrea did, that would be the last book for 2025. However, she did send me The Sacredness of Every Day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into the silly season. I know, with all of you folks out there, I know you know people. You know people who read these books. You may read these books. Treat yourself to your own gift for the silly season. Books for children are the best gift. I'm going to buy every one of these books for my little 4-year-old great-granddaughter and her sister. The reason being is children need to learn to read at an early age. Before I started school at 6 years old, because we didn't have kindergarten, I started to work for my father, answering his phone, taking messages. I was reading and writing before I ever went to school, and you know why? My mother read to me. My mother took the time to read to me. I will be forever, ever grateful for that. By the time I was in first grade, the little first grade primers bored me. You know, the old Dick and Jane series, one sentence per page. I was already reading on a third and fourth grade level in first grade, and they hated me for it. By the time I was in seventh grade, I was reading War and Peace and Dr. Zhivago in Cold Blood because young seventh grade books bored me. And third grade level, I was reading on an eighth and ninth grade level, all because my mother read to me and taught me the love of holding and reading a book. Sure, electronic devices are great babysitters, but the batteries run down. They have to be plugged back in. So what happens when a kid's playing a game on an electronic device or on your phone and battery runs down? What are you going to do? Batteries never run down holding a book. And it can be read over and over and over again. It can become a child's favorite book. Mary's book, Sharks Bite, Writers Write, that is coming out on the 3rd, talks about every child should be able to imagine, to dream, and to write. As a child in school, I was discouraged from writing. Even though I could read encyclopedias and dictionaries, I was discouraged from writing because math was not my friend. For many years, I did not write because I was never enough. Please do not discourage your child from imagining, from dreaming, from writing, because they are our future authors, our future screenwriters, our future storytellers, our future painters, even our future musicians. Too Many Rules, another book by Mary Brotherton for children that's coming out on the 3rd. She was asked by a reader why there was not a book about stranger danger. So Mary thought about it. She went online, and there's many, many books about stranger danger, but it's called Stranger Danger. So what Mary did is Mary took it from a different perspective, and she wrote a little book from the voice of a child talking about how many rules his parents had. Don't go too far away from me. Let me know where you are at all times. Know where I am at all times. And all of these rules that the child's thinking there's too many rules. However, the point of the book is don't get in a car with strangers. Don't be fooled by a stranger who offers you a toy or candy or tries to bribe you into a car with puppies, because you will disappear and it will make mommy and daddy very sad. So I highly recommend these books because they not only allow the child to learn to read and to be read to, they teach lessons. If I Could Be a Mermaid, it's so cute. It talks about, also by Mary Brotherton, it talks about a child thinking, well, if I could be a mermaid, I could do this. If I could be a giant, I could do this. If I could be a hobbit, I could do this. But at the end of the book, it says that if I were those things, I wouldn't be able to hug you. So, again, these 3 books come out on November the 3rd. Andrea's book comes out on November the 10th. Where's Wags is already out. Errol's Journey is already out. Open Hearts and Safe Haven Prayer is a spiritual inspiration book, again by Carol Bellavance. It comes out on November the 10th. I highly recommend it. I have to go back to work now because I have more books to get ready to go out. Talk to you tomorrow. Have the day you deserve. And thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.